Hi, welcome back to my channel. And child, I just wanted to get into that Tamar and Kandi situation a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so like many of you guys know, a few months ago when they were wrapping season 14 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kandi gave several interviews to a few YouTubers. I know y'all saw them. And specifically, she gave an interview to House of Aaron, and she revealed that Carlos King stole her group's life story, allegedly. And I ain't saying allegedly because I don't believe Kandi. I'm just saying it because, you got to say that word from Dom to Dom. So unbeknownst to Kandi and the rest of the members of Escape, Carlos King allegedly secured the life story and was working on making a movie. She said he even had one of his associates reach out to Mama Joy so that she could give interviews about the group members, but she didn't know it was for a movie. And yeah, that wasn't cool. Carlos, if you did that, that was not cool. We have never gotten Carlos' side of the story because he ain't never said nothing about it. So I feel like most of us feel like Kandi was telling the truth because Carlos, defend yourself. You ain't defend yourself, so here we are. So I don't know what happened first. I don't know if the post was first or if she went on Dish Nation first. But how I remember it was Tamar made a post. I think it was her Instagram stories. I could be wrong. But she made a post saying, my friend don't have to steal nothing from nobody or da-da-da-da-da, something like that. Then I saw her go on Dish Nation and they asked her about it. And she was pretty much saying how what Carlos allegedly did really wasn't stealing. If you're a public figure, stories and books and movies can be made about you without your knowledge. No one needs your permission when you are a public figure to make a movie about you or write a book about you, which is true. And she also gave an example how when they made the biopic for her sister, Toni Braxton, there was no input from Tamar on the actress that portrayed Tamar and how she portrayed Tamar and what she shared. She wasn't that happy about it. If y'all was watching the show back then, Tamar wasn't feeling Miss Girl too much. But she explained all of that and she was just like, that's just the business, which I thought was fair. But when she was like, my friend don't need to steal nothing from nobody, I was looking at Tamar like, girl, you and Kandi made up for you to just do this. I wasn't here for Tamar doing that because if you know, Tamar has a history of putting herself into stuff that ain't got nothing to do with her. And I watched that season of Celebrity Big Brother and I was very happy to see Tamar and Kandi squash the beef and be friends and really have each other's back. I was here for all of that. So when she made her little comments, I was like, oh, well, so much for that. Now, I do agree that maybe Kandi should not have used the word steal. And I only say that because a lot of us that, a lot of the fans, a lot of the viewers, a lot of Kandi supporters, we don't really know the ins and outs of the business. And so when you have someone like Kandi who has a big fan base and you say, oh, this person stole from me, automatically that puts that other person in a bad light. And what he did really wasn't wrong. He did what people do. What made Carlos wrong, if he really did what she said he did, is you had a close relationship with Kandi. You guys are business partners on certain projects. You're business partners with her husband on other projects. I believe they said his office was in their building. Carlos, if that's how it went down, you was out of order. You wasn't right for that. So I can understand why Kandi don't fool with the man. But I also feel like, because a lot of us don't really know the ins and outs, it's kind of jacked up to say steal because people make unauthorized biopics all the time. Didn't they make like 4 different biopics for Whitney Houston? I remember way back when someone made a biography for Oprah and she was big mad, but there wasn't nobody could do about it. She's a public figure and these people they have a right to write whatever they want to. It is what it is. So I do think that maybe using the word steal wasn't the right word. But at the end of the day, Carlos, if you did it, you was wrong. You have too close of a relationship with that woman for you to go about things the way that you did. And it just is what it is. And Tamar, you wrong for putting your mouth where it just did not. Nobody else said anything about the subject but you. I feel like Tamar could have said, well, this is how it is in the business and just left it at that. But when you add the extras like Tamar knows how to do, here we are. And I mean, we knew this was going to happen. So anyways, Kandi never said nothing. But after all that happened, they did a show. After the show, Tamar made a cryptic post saying that the mayor of Atlanta and her husband was trying to fight her. Everybody was like, oh my God, was it Eva? Was it this person? Was it that person? Everybody knows it was Kandi she was talking to, but she didn't say no names. So last night she goes on Watch What Happens Live. And of course, Andy is messy. He gonna get to the bottom of this. And she's like, it wasn't Eva. It wasn't the other person. Was it Kandi? I don't know. Sip, sip. And it was Kandi, duh. Today, she takes to social media again to now give us the full account of what took place at the show backstage. And pretty much she said that she went up to Kandi to hug her, and Kandi was like, girl, I don't fuck with you. And it was a back and forth. Todd came. Todd put his 2 cents in it, and she felt disrespected by both of them. I believe Tamar. I believe that happened. I believe it happened just like that. I really do. But the problem with Tamar is like, girl, you be fucking with people, and then when they react, then you don't understand why they reacted. If Kandi got upset with you, that's on you. Because then nobody else offered their 2 cents about what Kandi said about Carlos. If Carlos didn't like what Kandi said, Carlos could have addressed her. You didn't have to put yourself in the middle of it, which you have a history of doing. You did not have to say nothing about what Carlos and Kandi had going on. You could have given your professional opinion because you are in the business and left it at that. She did the same thing with K. Michelle and Toya. She did the same thing when she got into it with Toya and she got into it with Monica. She forever doing stuff like this and then hiding her hands. And I love Tamar. I really do. I love her personality. I love her as a reality star. I love her as a singer. Her voice is everything. But Tamar is always throwing stuff at people and then like, what, me? I don't even know why you're upset. You be knowing what you be doing, Tamar. We watch you do this to your sisters for years on Braxton Family Values. At the end of the day, you got involved with something that was none of your business. And so if Kandi saw you and cussed you out, she saw you and cussed you out. She saw you and cussed you out. If Todd bucked at Tamar, I think that that's not okay. I think that's not cool. Because if the story happened like how Tamar's saying it happened, and me and my friend who I've known since my entire adult life, and we're having a moment, collect your wife and go. Don't collect your wife, buck at me, say something rude and disrespectful to me, because now I'm going to say something rude and disrespectful to you, and now we all going to have a bad day. So if Todd said something slick to Tamar, yeah, he ain't need to do none of that. He didn't need to do none of that, because there have been several men who have said slick things about your wife, sir, publicly, and we ain't see you do nothing about it. There's Apollo, there's Peter, Block. We still waiting for somebody to whoop Chuck's ass for the shit he did season 6. Like, there's been a couple of guys that have said slick things about your wife in the press, and you didn't do nothing about it. So, yeah, save that energy for them. Kandi didn't need your help. She didn't need your help. She was handling Tamar just fine. if you really did buck at that lady, you was out of order for that. That's how I feel. Cause that's a lot. Like, if Tamar saw, like, let's be real, Tamar could have gone up to Kandi and given her Tamar really could have just minded her business when this story broke. If that is Kandi's truth, let her tell her story. The last time you tried to tell a woman what her story was, you was in beef for like 3 years straight and you was losing. So, Tamar, I'm sorry, but you brought this upon yourself. I still agree that Todd didn't have to address you. He didn't. He didn't. I don't know if you said something about Todd. Maybe you did. I don't know. But yeah, Todd didn't have to address you. So that part I do give to Tamar. But the rest of it, Tamar, girl, you started this show. You caused this for yourself. Because you and Kandi were in a good place. Y'all could have just stayed in a good place. Or if you felt like Kandi was wrong for how she said that about Carlos, call your homegirl up and say, girl, why you say that about that man? I think in that regard, it would have been what it would have been. We wouldn't have never needed to know none of this. But for you to go and you handled it wrong. You really handled it wrong. So Tamar, I don't know what to tell you, girl. Why you always do stuff like this? And I don't understand why you bucking for Carlos. Now you getting ate up on the internet. Let's see if he bucked for you. I don't know. But that's pretty much all I want to talk about, y'all. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.